why it always have to come to comparison. There have been a lot of batsmen who have done really well, and also what happens is, for me to recall right now what happened 3 years back, or I've captained for over 5 years, so I don't know what happened 5 years back. Well, there have been others also who have performed, and that's why I don't believe in comparing individuals. Their strengths are different, and at the end of the day, the main motive is for the team to win. And also, I can't recall, the amount of pressure that every individual has, because it also depends on the kind of form you are in. So I won't like to compare individuals. He has been very good for us. He has been very consistent for us, and I think that's the beauty of it. Some individual in the side is always ready to take that extra responsibility. I think his approach was good, and I felt he batted well also, because the condition was very tough, and not to forget the pressure of 3 wickets. Whenever you go into bat, a lot of times people talk about the openers being under pressure with the new ball and good bowling, but always what you have to consider is people who bat down the order, they always have that pressure of one extra wicket falling. So if you're batting at 3, 1 wicket has fallen, and in the similar way, the more you get down, the more the number increases, and there comes a time where you also worry about who are the people behind you, whether they can bat in these conditions and all of that. So I feel it was very good exposure for Yuvraj Singh. A game like this, how many he scored was not important. How many balls he faced, that was more crucial. And I felt his approach was good. He was still looking to play shots. Yes, he got beaten a few times, but overall, it will give him a lot of strength. And not to forget, the situation and the condition was very tough. So overall, he would gain a lot out of this game. And I can't say hopefully he'll get more chance to bat, because he'll always bat under pressure if he gets a situation like this. But hopefully the wickets will be better in the coming games, and he'll get a chance to express himself and get into some kind of a groove. Amir, I think he bowled very well. The length was crucial for a left armer. He was somebody who could bowl slightly more up, and I felt that was the length that he bowled, because it becomes very tricky. You want to cover the swing, but at the same time, if you move too much in, there are chances of LBW, and if you're not covering that line, you can get caught behind, or the slips also. So I feel he used the condition really well, and it was very good bowling, especially the first 3 overs. He was right on the mark. You don't want me to get banned before the T20 World Cup, so you have all seen the umpiring, so it's your call. One thing that certainly should be done is, all the umpires now have a walkie-talkie, and they have an earpiece in their ear, so which effectively in a way means they're umpiring with only one ear, because one ear is stuffed with the earpiece, so they can't hear. And when it's so loud, I think it's a very difficult job. So definitely they need to consider this thing, at least have both the ears around. No point having a earpiece, when when the bowler is bowling, you won't use the earpiece. At least you have the ear to listen to a lot of things that may happen on the field. You have to see the era of players, what kind of players were playing. You compare the team of the 90s and before to our team. I'm not saying our team was bad, but if you see the Pakistan team, they had those all-rounders. They had bowlers who could bowl quick, and at the same time they got that talent of bowling reverse swing. So I feel that actually put a lot of pressure on our batsmen, and more often than not, a lot of talking that goes around is Pakistan bowling versus Indian batting lineup, especially if you talk about the 90s and all. And they also had good batsmen up their sleeves. So I always felt they had they had a very strong side, which were backed by very talented players, who were maybe not very orthodox by the books, but there were few batsmen who could read the game very well, and there were bowlers who could exploit the condition. And I feel that's where the strength of a team lies. And if you see lately, how the Indian team has started performing, it's almost the same. Still the war is the same. It's often about the Indian batsmen and the Pakistani fast bowlers or the spinners, but overall it's just that our bowling has also improved, and as a team we have done a lot. We don't rely on only a few individuals, like A or B scores, then we are in a better position. We have seen that the top order has performed when they have not. The middle or the lower order, they have got runs, and they have been well supported by the bowlers. So overall, if you see, it's difficult to compare, but I feel the era of players always matters as to what 11 was playing at that point of time and what's the team now. When it comes to the bowling, I think hitting the right length was important. It was a wicket where if you can hit the right length, I don't think it was very full length that you were supposed to bowl. Just ahead of the three-quarter length, and if you can hit the seam, there was movement on offer. So that's what the communication was. And I felt what was good was we kept taking wickets, because of which we were able to put pressure. And in this format, you have to keep taking wickets. On a wicket like this, you don't know what is a good score. When you go into bat, at times you think 140, 150, but if you see today's game, at times you think maybe 125 would have been a very good score. So you don't know what is a good score on a wicket like this. So I'm glad that we were able to restrict them to 84 or 85 runs, because it makes the job slightly easy, because these kind of wickets you can get a good delivery at any point of time, and especially the first 4 or 5 overs are very crucial, especially if the dew is not around. It can get extended to another couple of overs.